Hello everyone, ArchDraft here. I don't think I'm alone in saying that I love Risk of Rain, and Risk of Rain 2 especially. And I don't think I'm alone either whenever I say that I want more Risk of Rain and Risk of Rain 2. Well, let me show you this game right here that's called Gatekeeper. It's basically just a top-down Risk of Rain. I don't want to, trivialize what it is. And right now I'm in a mode that's maybe not as Risk of Rain like, but that's basically what the game is. In a normal mode, you would be going around and going from stage to stage, doing whatever little objectives they give you. It's normally either kill an enemy, kill enemies until you get keys to unlock stuff, or try and survive by a little totem that's charging up. But in this mode, it's just an arena with an hourglass in the middle. You activate the hourglass and you start destroying stuff. So we're just gonna do that, and I'll explain everything along the way. For starters, we have this evolution thing right up here on the side to distract you from all the carnage that's about to take place. But we've got this evolution thingy on the side, and as the game goes on, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you might see the blue bar that's slowly filling up. Wow, I killed all the enemies really fast. You level up in this game, and you can upgrade. I have an ability upgrade right now, so let's go ahead and upgrade that ability. And then a lot of what your upgrades are these right here, where you're just selecting a passive upgrade, so cooldown time, base damage, movement speed. I've been scaling up the movement speed here recently, just so I can kite stuff easier. Yeah, if you look here, you can actually see the trees for the evolutions of each of your abilities. So it's about every, not quite every 5, every like 8, I think. Maybe it's every 7. I don't know. Every 7 or so of levels, you get the evolution of one of your abilities. Oh, got a lot more enemies coming in. I am very far into this run right now. I normally do these at the start of a run and show you how it is at the beginning and everything, but the fun part about games like Risk of Rain and everything is that you kind of have like a tough time in the early game, and once you get the late game, you have just a glorious power fantasy. There we go. And I am deep into the throes of a glorious power fantasy right now. So this character I'm playing as right now is called the Tech Hunter, and he just has this nice little shotgun as his, primary attack. Oh, hey, here we go. We've got this boss fight right here. This is a boss monster that they come normally every 5 waves in this mode. At least, the first 10 waves, it's like 5 and 10, you'll fight those. But as we're further into this run, we're on round 21 right now, we're getting him pretty regularly. His right click is this little grenade that he throws. It's not the most useful, but that's fine. The more you level it up, the better it gets. It's just, compared to every other ability he has, it's not that useful. My movement ability is my little clone I have set there. When I reactivate the ability, I will go back to it. Go ahead and do Infurion. Ender Flare's really strong. Then Deadeye, because I kind of just want to get it to the point where it's going off constantly. We'll grab some more health. I've got pretty good health. I'm not horribly worried about it. I'm also not taking much damage right now, but that can change very quickly. And then my kind of like ultimate skill, I guess you could call it, is I put a little area on the ground. It's kind of hard to see it, but it's right there beside my clone. The little circle's going off. And it drops an airstrike on that location. And then I have a passive skill also. And my passive is that whenever I kill an enemy, it has a 3% chance of dropping a artifact, which is all those things at the top of the screen right now. And it's what this is right here. Which is kind of why I'm okay with some, like, his right click and stuff not being that strong, because he's going to get more artifacts than any other character, so it's going to be a much stronger on that alone. Also, the fourth skill there is just so strong that it's okay if the other abilities aren't as weak or aren't as strong, because that ability does so much damage. It's so good for wave clear, and he already has a good wave clear with his primary skill here, just the shotgun. Once you have it fully upgraded, the shots actually pierce through all the targets, so it just becomes this great killing machine. And there's an artifact right there. Yeah, it's basically top-down Risk of Rain, which is a lot of fun. And I've been having a great time with it. This arena mode also is lovely. I would love for something like this and something like Risk of Rain. Or even just in general in games to try and like add more things like this, because this is just fun. Getting super strong, surviving against waves of enemies. It doesn't really matter what type of game it is. It could be this, it could be a RPG where your like level doesn't really cap out. Like, there's so many different ways you could implement a feature like this in the games, and it would be so much fun on all of them. Yes, Essence is super good. That reduces the incoming damage. Go ahead and take this, so I generally don't need that. One thing I do wish is that whenever I hover over it at the top here, I kind of wish it would tell me, like, how much it does per stack, like it does, but then also have it fully calculated up. So I can see, like, I have 12 of those, so I'm sitting at like 4,800 damage, which is insane. And I just kind of, it'd be nice if it just said that. But Risk of Rain had the exact same issues and modders fixed that, so if the game just adds a mod support and people fix it on their own, that, I mean, I guess that works for me too. I like it more if a dev just goes ahead and does that though. And this game is in early access, so there's a very good chance that the dev will. And from what I've heard, is the dev does ask for feedback and tries to get help from the community to make sure that the game's as good as it can be. So I'm not too worried about whether or not it'll get added. I imagine the dev will get around to it in time. Yeah, super fun game. It also has these little achievements here that unlock more artifacts that you can get on runs. And for me, the fun part of that is just choosing. So you unlock the ability to unlock them, I guess is really the way to say it. So you will unlock a section. I'll show it later on. But you unlock on the main menu something called the Emporium, and in the Emporium you can see the artifacts that you have available to get on runs, and you can do those achievements to unlock more groups of artifacts, and then buy those artifacts with the little I believe they're called Omni Stones. They're the little icon in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Got a little 16 beside it. You can buy them with that. And what I do is that there are some that I just don't really want that much. So I just don't get them so I can try and maximize the power of what I do want. That being said, I'm not a big fan of all of the achievements. Some of them are a little weird, like die at the 42nd minute. It's like, yeah, that's a little odd, but I'm also not completely opposed to it because it's like, if I've been on a run for 42 minutes, I'm probably getting close to the cap of what I'm going to do on that run. Unless, you know, I'm just got like some amazing setup and want to keep going. But I mean, if I just happen into that kind of situation, I'll just stop, I guess. The game has 7 playable characters right now. And this guy's probably one of my favorite. There's one I've unlocked and I haven't played yet. And then there's one I see potential in and I just didn't really, I haven't really gotten a good run on them. I believe it's Pandora is their name. I haven't gotten a good run with her yet to really see how strong she can get. I feel like she could get really strong late game, I just haven't managed to do it yet. And then there's a character that I just think is not good. Called Mediator. I have not had a good time trying to do a run as Mediator. It just, all around sucks. There's also some, like, really interesting characters that are out. So there's one called Echo. And Echo revolves around sound. Like, all the abilities are kind of sound-based. And their ultimate ability is dropping a tuning fork on the ground that you can target with your main ability. And, like, sound waves that bounce off of it just hit, like, everything in that area. And it's such a strong ability and such an interesting concept for the character. Because it suddenly becomes not about attacking the enemies directly, but attacking your tuning fork that you've placed in a group of enemies and are, like, choke holding them with. Really fun. I played Echo on this map, and for the waves where they're more just melee enemies, I went and I would just drop it, stand right on top of it, and then attack that, and all the enemies would just walk towards me and then get obliterated by the tuning fork. It was so much fun. Hopefully you have seen what is so fun about this game and are interested in trying it out. I don't remember if the arena mode's actually unlocked from the start. I didn't know about it until a friend pointed it out to me. And then I tried it and I was like, this is a lot of fun. But I have maxed out all of my skills at this point. I have a insane amount of artifacts right now. And I think it is about time to let this run end. I've got really great stats too. Look at that. 214% attack speed. All right, let's go ahead and end this run. Just gonna stand still and die. Then we'll go back to the Emporium. $47 million damage. Oh man, that's insane. I'm gonna screenshot that really quick. Send it to a friend. That's fantastic. Not to derail the video or anything. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and leave. Hey, here we are. We can look at all the characters really quick. Hybrid is available from the start. Hybrid has basically dual pistols. It's really similar to Commando, honestly. In at least that aspect right there. Like, I would say that and the dash are fairly similar in the way that the Commando plays. This right here is a little orb you throw that bounces from enemy to enemy. I'd say it's more like, if you played Risk of Rain 2, what's her name? Huntress? Her little boomerang that she throws that bounces to enemies. And then this is just a straight shot out that explodes. Pretty fun, though. I really think it's kind of like Commando. It is your default, like, this is just a good character all around. Needham? Don't know how you say the name. Anyways, more of a melee-focused character. Just kind of these... this. You can kind of see the blade for a moment there whenever you first switch to him. But, yeah, just swipes with the blade. Throws a disc out that goes out and then comes back. A blink that hits everything around it. And then summoning crows that attack randomly on enemies. Here's Pandora. Shoots out little projectiles that have a 25% chance to bounce to a random enemy within 13 units. A fairly short little line that does good damage, really. It just, the cooldown's maybe a little long. A dash that drops a healing area at the location you dash to. And then dropping a field that slows all enemies down by 50% and deals damage per second to all the enemies in the area. Pretty strong. Bastion, I haven't played. I'm not going to go through everyone's abilities. High Counter, that was the character I was just playing on a run. Did really good as. Mediator, the character that is not that good. I kind of hate to say it, they're just not that good. They really probably need either... I don't know if they need a rework per se. It's not that the kit itself is just bad. It's more the way the abilities all interact isn't great. This right here, this big ability, I think would be a lot better if it did damage whenever you harvest the enemy souls, as well as the souls flying through damaging enemies. I think that would make that ability much better. And it feels weird because that's an ability you need to be up close for, but they don't have much health. So you don't want to be that close, really. So, it's weird. I see the idea, but I feel like it's a I feel like it's conflicted. I think maybe just make a new character for this ability, and yeah, I think make a new character for this ability and give the mediator something different for that, and I think that would probably be good. That's cursing it into me. Also, the animations for casting abilities are not great on this character. Everything feels really slow. So I think if that was sped up just a bit, I think that would help a lot too. Trying to think of what kind of ability would even be good to have to complement with the rest of this. The idea of harvesting souls from all the enemies around isn't bad. It just doesn't work well for a character that doesn't want to be close like this character. Maybe you could get away with it if this was more of a something like Swain's ult in League of Legends, where you go into a form that constantly damages nearby enemies. I think if it was a ability like that, where if it was like for 10 seconds, you harvest, say, 3 or 5 souls from random enemies in the radius, and did that each second for, you know, like 10 seconds, I think maybe that would actually make it better. Just something to round out the character's kit just a little better. And maybe boost... I think you either have to boost health to encourage actually going in to use this ability, or you need to boost health regen so that you're not hurt as much for using. Yeah, one of the two, either that or just whoever uses this be very much supporting the rest of the group, because by themselves this is just not not a great character. But I see potential, and I just think something like that to change it up a bit would be really good. And then here's Echo, probably my favorite just for how unique they feel compared to a lot of the other characters around. Just so interesting dropping that tuning fork that you can use this on. It's just so cool. Such a cool kit. Okay, anyways, before I get before I end the video, here's what I was talking about, the Emporium. This is your basic items you have unlocked from the start, as well as these, and these. And then you start doing achievements to unlock more items. And some of these I don't have unlocked, and they're just not my favorite, so I figure, hey, maybe don't grab those yet. And some of them might actually help make some of the characters better. It always kind of bothers me if a character's completely, like, not usable without a certain item. It's okay for them to be really strong with certain items, but not if they can't be relevant without certain items. Because with this type of game, you're always bound to have bad luck on getting at the items you want. So, a character needs to be able to operate with suboptimal items. Even if it's not well. But, like, getting through just the first stage alone as mediator took me, like, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and that's normally how long it takes me to get through, like, 3 stages in the early game. So, I think it's just kind of a thing where the mediator is just not that great right now. And then you can see this on the achievement screen in-game also. What your little challenges you need to do to unlock these next sets. I just haven't gotten them done yet. But I'm working on it, and I will be there pretty soon. These are not hard to do. But alright, that was Gatekeeper. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry about the lack of videos here recently. Haven't been feeling the best. And then got really distracted binge watching House. So, I don't really have much more of an explanation outside of that. But hopefully we'll get around back onto a normal-ish routine now. It is kind of hard, though, to find games to show off in a on a week-to-week basis while also, like, playing the games enough to be satisfied with having spent money on them. Which is kind of one of the things I've been trying to do, is just play games that I'm getting so that I can actually justify spending the money. And that's, of course, you know, if the game's fun. If the game's not fun, I'm either going to refund it or just not do a video on it. So that happens sometimes. So I'll probably try and do just other kinds of videos also, instead of always showing off a game like this. Well, I mean, I might still be showing off a game, but rather than because I want to get people interested, but more so just because I enjoy the game and feel like screwing around in a video on it. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe. And, yeah, bye.